looking forward to this, and 12 laps is ahead with a full field of 34 Dunlop Series cars. We've had 7 different race winners from 12 races so far this year, 4 different round winners from 4 rounds, and if Dale Wood can clinch this round this weekend, that'll be 5. But here's the grid. Luke Youlden and Jeff Emery at the front from George Medicki and Drew Russell. Nick McBride and Cam Waters did a great job yesterday. Personal best race results for both drivers.
Yeah, solid for them. Ash Walsh, as you were talking about before, we haven't seen much of him in the last couple of meetings. He's been quite quiet. Dan Gawn, just outside the 10, starts 11 next to Paul Morris. Back a little bit, Josh Keane, fresh to the championship beside Gary Jacobson, who was caught up with your best friend, Paul Morris.
Taz Douglas is 20th on the grid. He managed to at least get going after being involved in that multi-car crash yesterday. Down the back, Nandy Kiss has been moved to rear of grid because of replacement tyres being used on that car. Morgan Haber, 25-point penalty. And Steve Owen, the strangest of ways
not
to
a good story,
not finish a race. Do you want to do this one?
Well, no, I'm a little embarrassed. Apparently, his drink bottle came a bit askew inside the car and damaged part of the ignition wiring and cut his car out. It was left stranded on the side of the road while he was running solidly in second spot. So one of the most stranger sort of DNF stories we've heard.
Getting ready. Race 2, round 5 of the Dunlop Series. We've flipped it around. It's a reverse top 10. Luke Youlden and Jeff Emery on the front row of the grid. George Medicki and Drew Russell on row 2.
Youlden did stop there on him. He had to dip the clutch and have another go. Emery should lead, as he does. Drew Russell into second. No one's got away well from the inside on pole position at Winton this weekend. Jeff Emery leads Drew Russell cleanly through. Everyone gets through the first 2 corners. Fantastic to see. It's still green. Emery, Cam Waters a good start. Andrew Jones sitting there in 5th position.
Oh, Daniel Gaunt runs wide.
No, we don't want to be off there. Can he get back through onto the track?
He'll get there, but he'll be at the back of the pack. The All-Star 40's replaced Christian Lindbaum in that car this weekend, but it's Jeff Emery leading the way. Look for Dale Wood and Jack Perkins trying to carve their way through, and some of the dive bomb moves going on in this first lap are pretty wild.
Oh, and Jack Perkins lost a spot there to Paul Morris, who's managed to squeeze ahead of him at the exit of 7. That's not working in his favour. These guys got to keep it clean. As you can see, Dale Wood's got a bit of an advantage here. He's made some good progress on Jack Perkins. Definitely the better start out of the 2. Dan Gawn, as you said, right at the back. McBride running wide. That was Paul Morris making a move on him. Jack Perkins takes the initiative on the outside.
So out front, Murph, it's Jeff Emery in that ex-Craig Lowndes Team Vodafone Commodore that leads the way. Jeff's been a long-time Dunlop Series driver, multiple Commodore Cup champion, and he leads the way. He's got clear air out in front. Drew Russell next, then Luke Youlden, then Cam Waters, Andrew Jones, Wilson Security Commodore, then George Medicki with his teammate Ash Walsh right on his hammer. Dale Wood is 8th. He's made up a couple of spots, but Walsh is in the inside, and Medicki won't fight him because they are teammates from Matt Stone Racing.
And George does seem to be struggling a little bit. And Walsh definitely clear speed there. Not sure if he's got his tyres up to temperature. Dale Wood will be wanting to capitalise real quick on the struggling Medicki. Here's the restart.
This is with Taz Douglas to the right of screen.
A lot of wheel spin by Douglas. Look at him hooking gears. That's another bad start. And Pedersen there. Again, he's learning how to get these cars off the line. We see, Taz just feeding the thing slowly around the outside. And replay. Oh, here we go again. Here's your mate. Same corner as yesterday. Up the inside of Nick McBride. And the 2 just touched. Paul off the curb there slightly. There's nothing much in that one.
That was okay. No, I don't have a problem with that one. That was fine. McBride was making it difficult. It is a race. Now, Luke Youlden starting to get himself up and running and trying to close in on Drew Russell, but it's Jeff Emery who leads the way. Remember, this is a reverse grid top 10 with half points awarded, and it's a combined point score that determines the grid for race 3. So even though Dale Wood's a bit further back in the pack, he will be looking good for pole for race 3.
And also, obviously, very limited on their tyres for this weekend. 2 sets of Dunlop control tyres per car. And the strategy here, depending on where you start on the grid, will be very different. So not knowing what some of these guys have done, some will have put on a fresh set of tyres to capitalise on their grid position for this race. And others will be saving their last set for the last race today to hopefully make some space or make some gains in the last 12 laps this afternoon.
Yeah, just a reminder, guys, this is our last event before we head to the Enduros. Yesterday, Fabian Coulthard, poor start. He's had poor starts all year. Today, Luke Youlden, his teammate at the Enduros, poor start. I think they might have to flip a coin between who's going to start the races coming up.
Well, the extension, Rihanna, to that point is generally, Murph, at the Sandown 500 because of the way that those races go where you want your gun driver in for the end of the race. Quite often the co-driver gets the start gig. So practicing starts is pretty important because it really affects those enduros.
Yeah, I mean, you got to look at Luke. He hasn't done many. This is a new car for him. I don't know if he's managed to get a practice start in. Also, he was on the dirty side of the track there. We haven't seen anyone get a clean getaway from that side of the track, albeit Fabian was on the other side yesterday for his start. That did not go very well at all. Difficult things to get off the line, and, you know, with a bit of practice, it does get easier. But you're right, for the enduros coming up, strategy is really, really important, and pit stops and bits and pieces, depending on how many stops we're going to need for those races, will determine, you know, maybe some different strategies and some co-drivers starting those races. So it's all important experience.
Fastest man on the road is Dale Wood, 125.50 last time around. This is Taz Douglas, P16, putting the pressure on Josh Hunter in the Finance Easy Ford. This is the ex-James Moffat car from second half of last year. It was True Blue at Bathurst with James and Alex Davison, and Hunter and Andre Heimgartner, a couple of young teenagers, first year in the Dunlop Series, and they're starting to creep their way forward. They got their ears boxed in the first couple of rounds, but they're in the mid-pack, which is a pretty decent effort in a 34-car field for a rookie.
Listen, it's hard out there. I mean, you're learning very, very fast. There's some experienced drivers with many, many Ks under their belts out there, and everyone's desperate. Everyone wants to show what they've got, prove a point, and get the opportunity to be in the position where that, you know, they might be looked at as a potential co-driver for the Enduros. So it's all on the line. You see Andrew Jones has a big lunge there at Cam Waters and pulls it off cleanly. Walsh tries to capitalise. He's made a bit of a hash of that into the corner, giving Cam Waters a bit of a push. Dale Woods looking on as Jeff Emery just pulls away. He's got a 1.2 second lead currently. Doing it quite easy while these guys battle, and battle hard.
Under investigation, contact at turns 1 and 2 between Jim Policina and also car 28, that's Morgan Haber, as Walsh has another look down the inside. But out front, Jeff Emery's built the margin, Murph, 1.3 seconds. His best race result in his Dunlop Series career. This is his 48th round start. He's one of the most experienced guys in the development category. He's never finished better than fifth, and this is what we were discussing. Morgan Haber had a good start to the weekend, qualifying strongly, but it's all gone downhill, and Jim Policina ends up off the road in the ex-Tasman Motorsport Commodore. That's Aaron Tebb getting a little sideways.
That's an interesting shot there. They've just had it coming together. Obviously, I think Morgan might have had a little overlap on Jim, not quite sure, but there'll be more to talk about, I'm sure, on that one. Emery still leading in the day glow paint scheme. That was Craig Lowndes' 888 Commodore from last year. And there's Walsh makes a good move. Cam Waters gave him room. He realised he's got speed on him. Plenty of room given there between the two. And Dale Wood, he'll be wanting to follow suit very, very quickly. Look at the gap he has now. Look at Jack Perkins still fighting, unable to make any ground at all. Working on George Madecki, who I think's actually just passed Jack Perkins.
And this is just behind. Rodney Jane 12th is right with Nick McBride.
This is a bit of an interesting. I'm surprised about Jack's speed here, considering how fast he was in qualifying yesterday. So I wonder if they've made a bit of an adjustment to the Eagleston Motorsport Commodore and it hasn't quite worked out. But I am surprised that he's been unable, as he goes under Madecki now. So I think a move forward. Yes, he's managed to pull that off nice and clean.
Yeah, speaking of enduro drivers, Chaz Mostert, you'll obviously be teaming up with Dale Wood in their Pertec Enduro Cup. Won the race yesterday, having a nice run this race as well. Yeah,
for sure. He's doing exactly what he needs to do, you know, just keep getting points. The reverse, you know, top 10, you know, races are pretty hard to finish, as I knew from last year. So he's doing a good job and just collecting points, and, you know, he's thinking of the championship, which is good.
Just talk us through your race yesterday, finishing 16th. You've come off the back of a career high winning at the Coates High Ipswich 360, but a bit of a difficult day yesterday.
Yeah, tough day yesterday. You know, the track conditions are pretty hard. It's cold here in an old track surface, so it's a bit hard to try and dial the grip in. But, you know, we'll chip away today. We've got 2 100-kilometre races, and we'll see if we can get around that top 10 again.
Good luck this afternoon.
Thank you very much.
Plenty of questions, Murph, around the future of Chaz Mostert. Isn't it funny? He wins a race. We know he's a talented young guy, and all of a sudden people are talking, who could sign him up? Where could he go? Tim Edwards has said, no, he's with us. He's on a deal. He's sorted. I read a story during the week that Chaz might not be, so it's hard to know what's going on in silly season. Here is Aaron Tebb, Morgan Haber, and also Andre Heimgartner. This is the fight back in the pack there outside the top 20. Casey Stoner is moving forward, and around goes Aaron Tebb.
I don't know if he got a helping hand there or not.
Oh, don't bog it. It's been very wet here in the last week or so.
Marcus Canovic.
Now, he's driving around. He's got a busted finger because he had a toolbox fall on it during the week. He's got some pins in it. Now, Aaron Tebb,
he's doing donuts.
Spun himself onto the road, spun himself off the road, spun himself on the road, and now gets going. Took a little while to get there, but oh well. The last time we saw that car, it was actually on its lid at the Gold Coast last year with Ricky Taylor, the American international. So I don't really think that that's too much of concern compared to what happened there. But Jeff Emery out in front. Drew Russell still hanging on in second. Luke Youlden next. His BJR teammate Andrew Jones right behind. Then Ash Walsh. Then Dale Wood. So Wood and Walsh, the title contenders, are together on the road. This is the replay at turn 1. Marcus Canovic just locked it up.
Very late left-hand tyre lock. Look at the shoveling effect that has got that front splitter, and that is very, very full of Winton's finest.
And looking at these cars when they just go off the road, they fill with mud and dirt and muck everywhere, and quite often the teams are, no, that's your job to fix that one. You did that, driver.
Hi, James.
Your co-driver for the Pertec Enduro Cup. James Courtney and Garth are watching on. Steve Owen here working his way forward. He's at the tail of this queue. He's up to position 18 from 30 on the grid. Jeff Emery has done the job here. They haven't been able to hunt him down in this race. He leads by 1.7 seconds with 3 to run.
Garth Tander, obviously you don't have an enduro driver in this race in particular, but it's pretty exciting racing for a morning here at Winton.
Well, the Winton Reverse Top 10 Development Series race is always pretty exciting, so we always try and watch this one, and more so actually having a look at the track, see how clean and or dirty the track is for when we go out qualifying a bit later on.
Yesterday qualifying for you was not your best,
no.
But you know, racing it's tough passing around this track.
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, certainly in those short races where there's no pit stops, no strategy, and it's hard to pass around in here anyway. So got a few off the line in both races. I made a couple of passes through the race. We're in 16th to 8th, but reasonably happy with that. But if we qualify up the front, we've got a fast race car. We just need to qualify better.
Good luck for that one, Garth. James, now you can't say anything bad because your co-driver is commentating this race, but it's exciting for the morning.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's a few guys going through the mud, which is exciting, and I spent most of Friday on it, so no, it's good. The boys are actually being pretty well behaved.
You've had a good run. You've had good momentum in the last few events. Yesterday, finishing 5th. Things are starting to move forward coming into the endurance events.
Yeah, it's just, it was good. It's like you said, we've had good speed of late, and really need the win, though. Maybe just get some of that E70 would be right, but it's been it's just a joke. It's been good, and momentum's building inside the team, and yeah, I think we're on for a good shot. I got my mate Greg Murphy on board for Bathurst, so we're gearing up for a win there.
Nice one, Greg. What do you think of James's performance?
Well, he was solid. Let's just say that he was solid yesterday. Very solid.
Thanks, Murph. I'll give you that $50 in a minute.
And but you know, I kept it clean on Friday in my session, mate. I came away from it. The car I brought it back. It had no mud on it. James brought it back, covered it in mud.
It is his car.
Yeah, it's okay.
Let's have a look at a replay here. Chris Pither, the Ice Break Coffee Commodore. This is the other entry from Brad Jones Racing. He started down the back because he had a pit lane penalty from contact in race 1. He's worked his way up to position 19. He's engineered by Paul Forgy, the multiple championship winning engineer with Marcus Ambrose. Here's Jeff Emery. At the end of this lap, he's got 1 to go. He is looking odds on to win his first Dunlop Series race. Remember that at Queensland Raceway, Andre Heimgartner won his first, so we're developing a little bit of a pattern here.
Andrew Jones.
He'll hang on here because he can cover the line down at turn 11.
What will Walsh do? He's going to be very narrow, Andrew Jones. He needs to hold that line. He can't move over, which he has done a little bit here. And Dale Wood.
Yeah, Walsh better not leave the door open.
No, he's going to look to get up the inside, which he's done. He's done a great job there to force the Infant's friend. And Falcon Wood's going to benefit from this.
Got it.
Got it.
And that's a couple more points for the two title combatants. Remember, they will be co-drivers for Tim Blanchard and Chaz Mostert, respectively, at the Pertec Enduro Cup, Sandown Bathurst and the Gold Coast. But right now, they ain't teammates. It's on. 1 lap to go.
Well, that's showing, you know, really, really good class driving there by Ash Walsh. He showed patience. He saw Andrew Jones make that mistake. He put himself in a good position to capitalise in the last 2 corners of that lap. And Dale Wood using his brain to position himself to benefit from it and use Ash to make the hard stuff, do the hard stuff, and give them that opportunity. So they've made a good spot there, good for their points, but great driving by Ash Walsh to capitalise. There's Jack Perkins, who hasn't made as much ground as what we thought he would, fighting with Cam Waters, who's holding on there.
But just doing the numbers, Murph, even if he finishes where he is, which is position number 8, he would have enough points to be on the front row alongside Dale Wood for the final race. But let's talk Jeff Emery. Yep, this car's run from Evans Motorsport. He was formerly driving with Greg Murphy Racing. He's been a long-time supporter of the category. He made his debut at Clipsal in 2006. He's been successful in Commodore Cup. It's been a long time coming, but he's going to get a win today.
And he has led races before and unfortunately not managed to get the ultimate, but good on you, Jeff. He's a great guy, great competitor, and well-deserved win in the reverse grid Dunlop Series race here this morning at Winton Motor Raceway.
So Jeff Emery picks up his first Dunlop Series race in race 2. His best result. He's had a couple of 5th places, the last one in Sydney last year. And that is a great result for the R&J Batteries Commodore. And he's just a little bit happy inside as well. And so he should be. He becomes the 41st different race winner in the history of the Dunlop Series since 2000. And plenty of guys have had breakthrough results this year. So great job for Jeff Emery. Drew Russell home in 2nd spot. So now we've had 8 different race winners from 13 races. Murph, the mix is pretty right.
Yeah, it's going, I mean, it's a competitive series this year, as we've seen. We've talked about it a lot. It's great to see that it is a mix out there. We've got some talented drivers who aren't finding it as easy as what I think they maybe thought it would. It just goes to show the competition. Jeff Emery, 1.8 seconds ahead of Drew Russell. Great drive by him. Luke Yulden benefiting from the reverse grid, but he got away slowly to finish 3rd. Ash Walsh, Dale Wood, sensible drive, fantastic result there. Jack Perkins, Paul Morris, George Madecki rounding up the top 10.
Well, Jeff, you're a feisty competitor as always, but your first win, that's got to feel sweet to finally pull one off.
Oh, I'm absolutely wrapped. I mean, we came so close last year, and on the restart we got tangled up with another incident, but this year we led from start to finish, and I'm absolutely wrapped.
It's a track you love, obviously.
Yeah, obviously we've done a lot of miles around here over the years, and yeah, pretty much got the result today because obviously it's our test track, so it's made a big difference to us.
Stay with us after the break. All the action from the decider, race 3 at Winton.